Today's episode is brought to you by Factor. Factor's got those good meals that deliver right to your home. Let's jump to this podcast.
Hello, everybody. It's time for Ghost and Crendor.
This is Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. In 4-hour recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up. It's the next Crendor in the morning.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the episode Cox and Crendor in the morning.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to an exciting episode. Cox and
Crendor.
in the morning.
So good. You know what? So good, buddy.
Today we'll be taking a deep dive into the analytical voice notes of 1973 voice actor Donald A. Stevenson and his ability to really differentiate himself from the vocal tones of the time and proceed into an era of unbelievable nostalgic memories.
Now, not many know this, but Donald was in fact a mute and never once spoke at all, which makes his entire performance quite impressive.
Quite impressive, indeed.
Indeed.
Yep.
Do you think we could get away with that? We think we could do a whole podcast series just that, where it's just like, and today we will talk about some nonsense.
Just make it sound like a show, but we make literally everything up.
Yeah, just like we really deep dive the nonsense. Yeah.
I think so. I think we have the capability.
I think we could do it. I'm fairly confident in our skills to do so.
Yeah. I think when you do this for so long, you get good at talking about anything, even if it's nothing. So I think we could. I don't know for how long we could, but I'm pretty sure we could do a decent amount of it.
I feel like if this was the kind of show where we talked for a little bit, then played 15 minutes of like 1920s music,
Yeah.
and then talk some more, we could pull it off because we could have that downtime to recalibrate.
Yeah, that's true.
If we had to go for an hour, there's no way. We would be like, we'd be 20 minutes in and be like, well, I can think of nothing else. So now I'm giving up.
Yeah, I don't know how 20, 30 minutes something would start giving at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we just open up with that for just 20 minutes straight.
I feel like we just did, but we didn't commit to the bit.
That was the pilot.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Sure. You know what? Pilots are never that great anyway. So, yeah, okay. That's fine.
Exactly.
Right.
You never know. One of these episodes,
Right.
it may just bust into that. Probably a week when there's absolutely nothing happening and we haven't done anything.
We just got to bust it out. We got to really bust it.
Yeah, really got to bust it out.
We really got to bust it. That's what we do.
Yep.
How's
your week?
It's certainly one of the weeks. I went through and, of course, the new Final Fantasy expansion came out, so I was playing that, and I, for some reason, got caught up and streamed for like 14 hours this week in one day. I was doing like a Sam stripping. Time flew by, and I didn't realize how exhausted I was. I went home, and on the drive home, it was, I don't know, it was late, and I was starting to get a headache on the drive home from like the lights in the streets, and I was just like, oh man, I'm so tired. I got home, I went to go take some Tylenol. I had a bottle of water and a bottle of Tylenol. And when I opened the Tylenol and poured to get 2 pills into my hand, suddenly my hand was soaking wet and the floor was wet. And I realized I had opened the bottle of water and dumped half the bottle into my hand and all over the floor. That's how exhausted I was. Just covered the floor with water. And I was like, that's probably a problem. I do not. Oh, that's not good. So yeah, that's where I was mentally. That's
Even as you were pouring water in your hand, did you not have the realization of this is water?
I mean, dude, I don't know what. All I know is I felt the wet and I looked down and I was just still pouring water into my hand. I was like, what the hell? I didn't
like,
realize that's a thing that could happen.
Did you only sleep for like 2 hours or something? Like, what did you do?
No, that night I slept for 11 hours.
Oh. But what about, you mean the night you're exhausted?
I was up at 6 a.m. for Geekenders, and
Right.
then I was streaming and doing stuff almost all day. From the moment Geekenders ended until I went home late at night, I was in it. And I was streaming longer than I've ever streamed in years. And yeah, I don't know. I just was worn out mentally.
So you're almost going on 24 hours probably.
Not really. I was in bed by like 11 p.m. maybe.
Oh.
No, that's a lie. I was in bed by midnight.
Oh, okay.
So I think I quit at 11. I quit something at 11 something. Maybe. I don't remember. Dude, I don't remember. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember what time it was or what was going on. I just don't remember. But I do know that I woke up the next day and it was almost 1 p.m. And I was like, oh man, I'm on Crendor time.
Yeah, that's prime Crendor time. What are you doing?
Yeah. Usually I'm up at the latest 9 a.m. So waking up at 1, I was like, yo, this feels like high school again.
To be fair, I get up at about 12:30.
To be fair. Right.
To be fair.
I don't want to besmirch your good name with these lies and slanders.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I remember one night I was streaming and I was like about to end my stream. I was in like the final stretch and it was like Jesse Cox has gone live and I was like, what the shit? At
That sounds
Crendor
right.
hours? I don't know what's going on here. I think it was you just I had, spies going there from my chat.
Right. Of course. Right.
And they were just like, Jesse's upset because he lost footage. And I was like, oh, okay.
The reason why it was so late is because I lost the footage, but I would have gone whenever I was done with the project. Basically, I was making a video and I wanted to get some feedback on some things that I wasn't too sure about. So I was just going to talk to, the people who knew actually the shit that I was doing.
Right.
And I tweeted at maybe 2:30 in the afternoon, yo, later tonight I'm going to have something cool to show you guys. Can't wait. Within 20 minutes of tweeting that, my Adobe crashed. I lost 3 hours of work. And I had to redo everything. And so I didn't get to making the stream, hey, come look at this until either 11 o'clock at night, maybe 11:30. So yeah, it set me back a full day, and I was so upset. There were still people at the office, and I don't know what it sounded like to them, but I know in the moment I was like, no, I was just screaming no over again, repeatedly. I was so at a loss for words. I couldn't believe it happened. And I loaded it back up, and Adobe was like, this file's corrupted. And I kept going back in the timeline of saves, and it was 3 hours back before I found one that worked.
Wow.
And
So it didn't even just crash. It crashed and just destroyed everything with it.
Yeah, I was not pleased. I was a little broken inside. But I got it done, and it's fine. The past is the past, but man, I hated that.
Yeah, I always use Sony Vegas, which is like a baby version of editing, but I like it because it's easy.
I get it. The only difference here is that we sometimes use After Effects and things like that to spice up videos, and I just don't know how to do that in anything else. So I'm like, if I could switch, I would, because Adobe is so prone to crashing for no damn reason.
I just hate the UI of Adobe. Every time I try to use it, I'm like, I just hate this. I've tried learning it 3 times. Every time I'm like, nope. I can do a little After Effects, but even then, I just transfer that over to Sony Vegas and just work there. So yeah, I don't know. I've always been a Sony Vegas connoisseur. Even
You
though
love Vegas. That's what I heard about you. You're a big Vegas guy.
Oh yeah, 100%. It also crashes a lot, however, but it's not as bad. When it crashes, it's just the program's beep boop beep boop beep. and then you just like shut it down and reopen it, and you're like,
Beep,
all right,
boop,
whatever.
Beep boop. Beep boop beep boop.
But I've never.
I don't
had
think it does that, dude.
anyway.
I'm gonna challenge
does.
you on that.
It does it. It definitely does. I'm telling you.
Beep boop beep boop.
Yeah, makes those exact noises. So I don't know. I was like that. I don't do very intensive editing either, though. Like some people go crazy with it and everything, but I'm like, not me. There are some crazy editors out there. They like go insane and have like super skills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish I had some of that, but I'm always like, well, what am I gonna use that for? Probably nothing. So I don't know. Maybe I'll learn a little bit. It's a little bit.
You say that, but like I don't know if that's true.
I mean, it probably won't happen.
Right.
I'll maybe remember it and then be like, oh yeah, I should look up that, and then I'll start looking up something and be like, I'm not gonna learn it.
Yeah. Again, after a while, you're just like, does it really need it? Maybe I'll just maybe I'll just draw something in MS Paint. And that's fine.
Dude, that was my entire motto. When I used to,
It works.
Yeah, back in like 2013, making those WoW videos, I would just be like, dude, I don't want to film this shit. And like, I'm just gonna draw it. And boom, and then people would be like, dude, I love your creative decision to use Microsoft Paint. I'm just like, haha, yeah, creative decision. It wasn't just me being like, I don't want to do this. But hey, half the time, half the battle's just doing it, right? Like plenty of people are like, I got an idea, I got this thing, but then nothing comes from it, or they never act on it, or whatever. It's always just an idea of like, I'm gonna start this project, I'm gonna create a YouTube channel, I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna do all these things, and then they just don't do it.
Speaking of YouTube videos,
Yeah.
I assume because I've been caught up in the world of Elden Ring lately that I just started noticing this, but I know it's been around for a while, so I'm not going to put the blame on Vati Video for this. But the amount of slow-talking, British accented people who do lore videos on the internet is too high. It's out of control. And it's not just men, it's women, it's everyone. And the voice is literally just like, in the dark depths of the lands between, there are those who have answers. These answers are the ones we all seek. And I'm like, what? What? Is there a school for this? They all have the exact same voice. It's the exact same. It's like when those top 10 videos, everyone started to do like borderline chills.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were just like, these are the top 10 scariest monsters in the world.
Yeah.
Number 4. And I was like, why? I honestly think, just like with everything on the internet, once one person does it well, everyone just copies it.
Well, yeah. Not even just the internet. That's just everything.
I hate it, dude. I hate it. Like, I'm not saying I hate the individual people who are doing this, to be clear. I very much just hate the fact that everyone thinks that in order to make an Elden Ring lore video, you have to be like, when the Elden Ring was destroyed long ago. I swear to God, it sounds exactly like the beginning of Lord of the Rings. Every video.
Yeah. It must work, so they keep doing it. But yeah, it's like, if something works, people just copy it. Like, no matter what. It's video games, in movies, in whatever. People are like, that thing worked. Put it in everything. And then they're like, and then everybody gets burned out by it. And they're like, do something else. And then somebody does something else that works. They're like, copy it.
I just wish because it's very clearly just Souls-like games people do this. I wish they had the audacity to do it for other things like Mario and Luigi, brothers, sent to the Mushroom Kingdom, where they had to battle Bowser. Like, I feel like if they could just do that for other things, I would appreciate it more.
Yeah, well, because then it's getting more creative.
I would love it, actually, if there was more. Like, the entire Nintendo catalog was just Dark Souls-ified with lore videos. That'd be amazing.
It's like, okay, so for example, I know when I go to YouTube, you always see the like, hold on, where is this? It's like those titles that they started popping up a few years ago, but now everybody does it, where it's like 20 things I wish I knew about insert thing at this time period. Like, and you could literally put in that, they're like 20 things I wish I knew when I started playing Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, Fortnite, etc. And it's just like, people see that, and then they copy that, but then it's like, you're never going to be as good as the thing you copy, unless you're taking the idea and making it your own, which is then you're doing your own spin on it, and then you're actually being creative with it. So that's why that's why I did Pointless Top 10, because I was like, I'm going to do my own version of a top 10 list, because everybody can make a top 10 list. So
True.
like, you just gotta do your own spin on it, and that's what makes it fun.
I, of course, watched all the videos because I was very curious about the DLC and what was going on.
Yeah.
But I very purposefully clicked on, I saw that, because usually it's just a guy who sounds like it's a dude who may or may not be British, I don't know, but he has an accent that sounds very British, and that's it. And it's just like the voice I kept doing. But I saw there was a girl who did it, and I was like, oh, this will be awesome. I can't wait to see like what her take on it is. I swear it was just like, in the lawns between the... I was like, no, not you two. It can't be everybody. But it was everybody.
Just need some guy to be like, hey, everybody, Elden Ring DLC, or talk about it.
Yeah, where's like the Donkey Elden Ring deep lore video?
Yeah.
Like, I like, not saying Donkey has a goofy voice, but he does. I feel like there should be like where's the goofy goober voices of the Elden Ring community?
Yeah. Yeah, we need variety out here. Let's
I
go.
want to see a guy be like, hey, so there I was, fighting Margit. That guy come, he's like, hey, you can't stop me. And I was like, I did, bitch. Like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But I
Honestly,
I did stop him.
I thought about doing that for like WoW lore stuff, because I'm like, first off, WoW lore is bad anyway, right?
Sure.
So then there's like so many people that just do like normal WoW lore, like Noble's really good, and there's plenty of other WoW lore people, but it's always just kind of like them talking like normal, whatever. I just want to be like, so here's like like some like short form lore, like the Thrall did this thing, he messed up. He's like, oh shit, I got to go back, and you just like summarize it in just a really funny way or something.
I think you should do lore told from the perspective of goblins. Like, hey, everybody, it's me, the Lore Goblin. Today, we're talking about, oh, geez, Thrall. Okay, cool. He's big, he's green, he has a hammer. He's bald now. That's a thing. Like, that kind of stuff. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah, just lore from different perspectives, but primarily goblin.
Just only goblin. You're the lore
Only
goblin, and you just give the lore as a goblin would see it.
Only the lore goblin.
Oh, hey, welcome back. It's Lore Goblin.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Lore Goblin here.
That's what I'm
Welcome
saying.
back to another video.
Today we're talking about Jaina Proudmoore, known Dreadlord, and I guess Mage Lady. Okay, so what do we know about Jaina's backstory? I guess she killed her dad. That's pretty cool. And I assume she slept with Arthas. You dirty bird. Wait, she slept with... How many people did she sleep with? Like, that's what I want. I want that. You telling me every famous guy got up in there? That's pretty amazing. Like, okay, maybe I stand the chance. Hey, call me, Jaina. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
The lore. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the Lore Goblin.
I might have to send my hobgoblin Tiny to go pay you a visit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I feel like you should do this, or I will do this before you do it. Because now I'm actually feeling it. Now I'm like, yeah. I don't even need to know anything about the lore of this game to just start making stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally just start saying whatever. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
you're doing what they do. It's just retcon and all of it.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, Lore Goblin.
Yep. Oh, one more thing, by the way, this week. So the other day, I was stopping in at this place down the street that's kind of like, I don't know, like a cafe. I don't know how to describe it. It has a French name, right? It's like Le Café Petit une Baguette, or I don't know, whatever. And sitting outside while I was waiting in line to get in, sitting outside at their sort of outdoor area where these two dudes, both definitely over 70, but having a very loud conversation. I assume about politics. I'm not sure. All I wrote down was the following part of the conversation before I went inside and missed the rest. Dude, one guy kept saying, same all over the world. It's the same all over the world, man. And the other guy's like, I know, military-industrial complex. And the other guy goes, I think we should build an Iron Dome. Do you think we should build an Iron Dome? And the man's like, what? And he's like, yeah, we put it over the whole country, an Iron Dome. And he's like, a real dome? He's like, no, don't be silly, just missiles. We got to have missiles. That'll do it right. And the best part was I really think the other guy thought he was talking about building just a dome over the United States.
Yeah.
And I love that. He was like, we got to keep them out. We got to keep bad people out. We got to build missiles. And I'm sitting there like, what does he want missiles to point to? There's only two. We can point them at Mexico or Canada. And I feel like we shouldn't point missiles at either of those. So we got to keep them out. We got missiles. Surround the country with missiles. Like, okay. All right.
That sounds like it'd be a very expensive project as well.
It also doesn't make a lot of sense for the one guy to be like, the military-industrial, who do you think's going to pay for those missiles? Who do you think's going to get the contract for those missiles, guys? We can't trust the military-industrial complex. That's why we need them to build missiles.
Yeah, I think some people don't fully think out what they're saying.
Oh, no, you're right. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, the military-industrial complex.
I was like, okay, sure. They kept repeating everything they were saying to each other. It was great.
I think a lot of it is just people hear stuff on the internet or wherever, podcasts, and then they just regurgitate it. It happens in sports all the time. People just hear like some guy on television or a podcast be like, the problem with the Pittsburgh Steelers is they don't know how to protect the quarterback. And then he'll like go somewhere and be like, the problem is they don't know how to protect the quarterback. And they're just like regurgitating shit that they heard.
I would love it if people regurgitated the shit they heard on this podcast. I would be honored if people were like,
I'm the Lord Goblin.
We need that. We need the Goblin Law is what we need. We need Lord Goblin. That's the best. That's the best guy out there. Also, what's the deal with all these people that talk slow with British accents? What's that about?
Listen, there might be some people that are.
I hope so. I hope so. And if you're out there, let us know. When have you used it in real life?
When have you
used one of our great wittyisms?
There's got to be some wittyisms we've had.
Yeah, there's got to be something you'd be like, yeah, no, I take that as truth. I 100% believe it.
Yeah. I mean, if you say something with enough confidence, anybody will believe it.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like we say stuff with confidence all the time that is total bullshit.
Oh, 100%.
So I'm just saying, if anyone out there wants to use that, and like in a day-to-day conversation, like next time you have a conversation with someone and you use something we said, let us know.
Yeah, that'd be
right
great.
In.
Post it
send a postcard right into us.
Yeah, don't leave it in the comments. Write a postcard.
Yeah, write a postcard. It makes it sound like you care more.
Yeah. Which, by the way, how many people used to like send postcards back in the day compared to now?
I don't know that any. I'll be honest. I mean, clearly they did, but I feel like it was one of those things that died off real quickly.
I don't know. There's still a lot of them.
All right. You're going to write to someone on a postcard, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't write your emotional feelings because the postman's going to read it.
That's true.
You write that in a letter. So all you're really doing is sending a postcard that's like, wish you were here, love the Cox family. And then like, cool. All right. There's, like, oh, cool. Thanks. Like, no, I don't know how many people cared that they got if you're old enough to have received a postcard, did you ever care that you got a postcard? Did you ever be like, wow, that's so thoughtful?
Yeah.
Or are you just like, I think they're bragging. Are they bragging?
I need to find this. When were postcards popular?
When were postcards?
When were postcards?
Rated in postcards.
1870, the postcard shot to popularity as a means of cheap, quick communication. This, along with a craze to collect, sparked the height of postcard sending from the early 20th century through to the First World War.
So postcards were out of fashion before even our parents were. When our grandparents were children, postcards went out of fashion. Gotcha.
And then it was probably one of those things where like it became kind of hip. It like made the rounds again. And people were like, postcards. Remember, kind of like people now, they'll be like, dude, get a vinyl record. Like that type of thing.
It's
They
so
just start
quaint.
doing it again.
Yeah.
So it's now people probably just do it as like, I picked up a postcard from the local city I visited or whatever. And they just like put it in their house.
Hold on. Do they sell? I got it. Do they still sell postcards just to sell postcards?
I think so. They probably do.
But like if you go, all right, I guess you probably have to go to like a touristy shop. But if you went to most places, you probably wouldn't just find postcards to send.
No, probably not. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like you're visiting somewhere and it's in like the visitor center or something.
We could print 2,000 custom postcards for $90 and send them out to people for no reason. We could do it.
We could do it.
In fact, I did do it for my Patreon a while back. When my parents and I went to Hawaii, I sent everyone a postcard that said, wish you were beer or something like that. It was great.
So you did find the postcards in Hawaii then?
No, we made them. We made them with me and my parents on them and sent them to people. I was like, I'm leaving to go to Hawaii here. Have postcards. But again, that was more braggadocious than it was like, I hope you're doing well. It was like, no, you get a postcard.
Yeah. It's, I feel like there's got to be postcard collectors still, right?
I'm sure for the old ones, you talked about ones from 1800s. I'm sure people collect those.
Yeah. It's
postcard collection.
It's probably like coins. I mean, people collect coins and stamps and shit.
Yeah, this guy on NPR, they have a report about a guy on January 9th, 2023. A collector was bitten by the postcard bug 80 years ago. See some of his favorites. And I mean, yeah, he definitely has a collection of postcards. And yeah, it seems like it's his entire life's work. His entire house is just collections of postcards.
And the man loves postcards.
At a certain point, I'd be like, I don't know.
It's one thing to be into, postcards. It's another to make it your identity.
It's like the people that have a whole house filled with Disney products. And I'm like, guys, you might have taken it too far.
Like, listen, I got a lot of Warhammer, all right? But I paint it.
Not in your home. Not in your home.
That's true.
You threw them in one room in an office.
Yep. To be fair, my office, it's more of a storage unit than it is for an office at this point.
I mean, having been in there, I'm aware. Having stepped over a ton of figures on the ground, I'm aware.
Those could go for a lot of money.
Never mind. You're not safe, dude. You're just as bad. You're the postcard collector of at this point, normal Warhammer and potentially 40K, depending on how far you go down.
I mean, I only have 3 40K armies.
Oh, well, yeah, that'd be stupid to have more.
It would, because they're all
humans. It would be a waste of time and money.
Space Marines. Space Marines are dumb.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Humans. And there's going to be somebody like, Space Marines aren't technically humans. I don't care. They're humans. All right? I play
technically, they're modified genome engineered lycanthants.
Yeah, listen, I play Orc, Tyrannid, Necron. That's it. That's the 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need. I don't want anything else. If I had one more, maybe like a mech, like a what's it called? The Chaos Knights.
What if they made mechanized rats?
Yeah, I'd play those. I'd play rats.
All right. Really, if they just catered to you, you'd have more than what you currently have.
Correct.
Right, okay.
It's just they only have 3 armies I care about in 40K.
Right,
well,
you're open to the possibility. No, I get it. I get it.
But Sigmar, I've got like 16 armies.
Well, of course, because
I care about. There's more non-human factions. You got numerous orcs and goblins. You got the lizard men. You got the beast men, even though they're getting retired. They're going in the old world. You got Nurgle. You got Tzeentch, which I guess technically I could play those in 40K, but I don't really care. And then we got the OBR. You got Nighthaunt. you got your Flesh Eater Courts, you got your Sylvaneth, you got your Skaven.
I'm not gonna judge you, but I'm gonna say you might have too much.
Yeah, I probably do. I'm not gonna disagree with you. I got a lot, but I've got everything I want, so I don't really buy anymore. And now I'm part of the Cool Kid program, so I get sent Warhammer by Games Workshop.
That's not bad. That's not
to be
bad.
fair. I would say like 30 to 40% of my collection is just stuff they sent me. So that also plays a role.
You know what? I can't deny your love of Warhammer. It's one of the few things you actually collect, so I don't want to poo-poo it. But it's a dangerously large collection.
I mean, yes.
I'm very happy that you've limited your obsessions to one thing, unlike me, I am obsessed with many things. But it is bordering on potentially being too much. Like, the fact that you get them for free is what's your saving grace.
Yes, 100%.
Otherwise, it would be a problem.
Yeah, no, it would be a problem. I agree. It's, I mean, like, listen, there's like Dodger with her mugs and stuff, right? But like, at least with Warhammer, it's like a hobby. I can build it and paint it. So like, it's something to chill out from, not be at a computer, right?
Sure.
I play the game, so I play with friends. I socialize. I like interact. So I mean, there's a lot of good coming from it.
Dodger, I think, is a perfect example, because when she moved to the UK, we had a going away party for her, and she brought all her mugs except for 2 that she wanted to keep. She brought them all to give away. Like a big box of mugs. And then when she moved to the UK, she just bought a ton of new mugs. Like, she narrowed it down to 2 mugs she would always use, and then just filled up more mugs. Like, she's like, well, these are British mugs, so it's different. I'm like, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, it's I don't know about that one. I think she just loves mugs. She can't get away from it.
Well, I'm saying for you, I feel like if you had whittled it down, like, I just want Rat. I'm getting rid of everything. I just want Rat Men. And then over the next 3 years, they release a bunch of new ones. You'd be like, oh, I got to get that. And so I just know what would happen.
That's the thing, is like, I know plenty of people, my friends play Warhammer. Like, they've sold their armies. They're like, I don't like playing this army anymore. They sell it. And then they get like new models and new rules and all this stuff. And they're like, oh man, I want to play that again. I'm like, see, this is why I don't do it. I just hold on to it. And then one day, maybe I'll just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Just sell everything. Who knows? But I don't think I would.
One day I might give it all up.
One day, you never know. But
I like how then
you
you quickly were like, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, though. I don't think I will. I mean, it's great. I mean, I love Warhammer. And then some people are like, what about other miniature stuff? But I don't know. It's just, to me, Warhammer is just, I love the Warhammer universe. Like, I love Total War Warhammer. I love normal Warhammer and build and paint. And I love all the fantasy races and stuff. And like other games, like, they look cool, but like, I don't have the same attachment to it.
Sure.
So yeah, because there's people who's like, got a 3D printer. It's like, oh yeah, let me just go buy a 3D printer and then just start like printing shit and needing like resin fume ventilation and everything.
The amount of people I know who have 3D printers now is out of control.
Really?
So many people are like, yeah, I got 3D printers. I'm like, wow, for what purpose? Like, I don't know, dude. Something will come up. I'm like, okay.
Might have to print something.
Yeah, who knows?
And like, I swear to God, half the people I know that have 3D printers, they print something and it's all like wonky or messed up, unless they like got better versions. But I also just hate having to work with resin and stuff.
Yeah, I'd rather just not have the thing than 3D print it. I'm like, I don't like, every time. Yeah, you're right. There's like this weird, some 3D printing stuff looks amazing, but I feel like that's qualified personnel made that. Most 3D printing stuff has that weird, like, you can tell it was 3D printed effect on it.
Yes.
Where you can see like kind of the lines of where it was produced, and it's and I'm like, I don't know, and I like that. It's never really even. I'm like, it kind of looks. I don't want to say cheap, but it looks cheap. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, I know what you mean. I definitely see it. I've seen it from plenty of things.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you a totally unrelated question.
I mean, that's what we're here for, buddy.
How often do you use social media every day?
I I think we've talked about this before. If I'm on social media often in spurts, it's usually because I'm on the toilet.
Right.
I use it less and less every year, if that sums it up correctly. But yeah, I'm on there sometimes. I will check and see if people message me. Like usually I'll wake up in the morning, check and see if people message me, that kind of thing. Or if anyone's messaged me anything cool to look at. And then I will. Most of the time, I don't just sit around with it on. You know what I mean? Like I remember back in the day, Dodger would have it like open on the side of one of her monitors in the office.
Right.
Like I just don't do that. I'm sure she doesn't do that anymore either. But I feel like there was a time when social media felt like you had to be there, and now it feels like a chore.
It also is just oversaturated, and it also just has so many people on it with so many differing like opinions and so many differing, like you're always gonna find somebody that disagrees with you.
Sure.
No matter what, like no matter what you believe, and so it's like you're actively going on there. And just you're essentially seeking out the feeling of stress because you know what's gonna happen.
Why did you bring this up? What is on your mind? Why are you thinking about this?
I was just watching videos of people talking about like growing up with social media now and how bad social media is for like developing brain, let alone like a normal brain.
Oh, I agree with that completely. I think it sets, and we've talked about it on this show, the unrealistic standards of what people look like or how they act or what their lives are like. It's all fake. Like everything you see on the internet is curated. Even the tweets I make, I think about like 5 or 6 times before I tweet them out. Or if I'm posting a video, I'm like, all right, well, is this what I want to post? Or like everything is crafted to be sent out there. It's all this. You and me talking right now is probably the realest shit we do on a regular basis. Like most of the time, social media is bullshit. It like the other day I was watching a TikTok, and it was a very sweet video about like this couple getting married, and it was it was like we're gonna surprise them, right? But the entire time I was thinking, well, where's the camera angle come? Why is it filmed third person? There is someone like up above them filming. How is that possible if this is a surprise? I was like, oh, because it's all fake. Literally, the whole thing's fake.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, nobody knows it.
Yeah, nobody's questioning it. And I was like, wait a minute. How are they getting the whole, like, a wide angle shot on a surprise? Like, how is this possible?
Yeah. My thing isn't even about, like, social media being fake, even though it is, and it's annoying. But my thing is more just the amount of time it keeps you hooked on it. You're essentially just like wasting time for no reason, which like there's plenty of ways to waste your time, but it's like it's such an unproductive way to waste your time that just like uses up your dopamine, and it's like marketed in a way that it's like psychologically addicting because they made it that way. And so it's like the doom scrolling. It's like you're just sitting there scrolling. Like I've had it where times I'm looking and then I'll just be like, why am I doing this? And I'll just stop.
The gateway to that is most people aren't us, where we are on the internet way too much. Most people go to work, do their job, come home to de-stress and relax. And sometimes that relaxing is pulling out the phone and checking out what's going on the internet, be it Reddit or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, TikTok. And they go on there to just scroll through. And what ends up happening is the more they scroll, the more they get that, dopamine or whatever the hell is making us go crazy. And it suddenly becomes, well, now I want to look during work or during school. And I wish, and it slowly takes over your life because, especially on TikTok, you scroll. There's always something new to see.
Yeah.
And if you're in a classroom, for example, it's the same damn teacher trying to teach you the same damn lesson about the same stupid thing, and it's boring. And nothing's going to compete with a constant new thing every few seconds on TikTok, for example. You just can't. And I agree. It definitely changes the way you view things and see things, and you become addicted to it. It's the reason why, when I am bored, I will find myself pulling out my phone, looking at social media, seeing nothing on there, turning my phone off, only to seconds later pick my phone back up and begin to scroll again.
Yeah. No, I know that. I've done that too. You're just like, you start like scrolling for the refresh thing. You're like, come on. What's new?
There's got to be something good. Come on. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I've gone to certain r/ things on Reddit so often that I know when I've reached the end of what's new because I remember the thing that was there before. And I'm like, oh, they don't update this one nearly enough. This is not. But I'll go back again. Like, maybe there'll be something there. Oh, yeah, I've definitely done that. I've had to pull myself away from stuff like that.
Yeah. It's... So, I don't know. I don't like how much more addictive it's gotten compared to what it used to be. It also just used to be you just have it on your computer.
Sure.
Now it's like you have the phone. Like, the phone amplifies everything, too.
It's also crafted. They've spent since it became a thing, they spent the last 20 years crafting it to suck up as much time as possible because that's how they make their money. And then to make it as infuriating as possible so you comment and interact more. Like, it's all designed by people who, scientists are going in to design how to get you to stay online.
Yeah. And it's not even like how it used to be where it's like, oh, we're just doing a little bit of marketing. Like, they're doing, like, brain scans and shit.
Yeah, they're actively trying to trick you into staying there as long as humanly possible. Oh, yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah. I mean, even if you look at, like, YouTube thumbnail design, dude, it is insane when you listen to, like, some of these thumbnail designers. And they're just like, the way the colors interact and the face on the thumbnail and the way the smile is located. I'm like, Jesus. It's insane.
Did you know that there's now a feature on the YouTube backend where you can produce 3 thumbnails? And it will cycle between all 3. Same. It'll cycle between all 3 and determine which one's best usable for like what you're more likely to click on. That's how deep it is.
Yeah.
They're actively trying to like play you. It's insane. It's truly insane. Social media is a game being played on the public, and it's wild. And I am very uncomfortable with it, but it's literally my job.
Yeah. Like, for example, with my latest pointless top 10 best jobs in World of Warcraft, I got 3 thumbnails. All right. There's a dwarf, there's a panda walking goats, and there's a goblin girl spraying down a mammoth with a water gun. Currently, goblin girl is at 34.4 watch time share. The panda goat man's at 33.1, and the dwarf guy's at 32.5. So, goblin girl's getting a solid 2% more watch time than the other two.
I actually think that's really funny, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is why I believe Lore Goblin would be huge.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Lore Goblin would be huge in that case.
If you just had a guy, like if you could have a Goblin VTube model made, and then you just did Lore Goblin as a VTube model, I think it would be amazing. I think you would make money. I think it'd be a winner.
It's true. It could be. We could do. Maybe I'll figure out some lore to do Lore Goblin with or something. We'll see.
I'm just saying. Yeah. You could change the game.
I did know last week I did the thumbnail thing, and I made one thumbnail. I was like, this looks really cool because I did barbecues, and I'm like, there's like a grill and the fish and whatever, and then there was like another one with like the panda guy standing by the fire, and then there was like a very colorful, vibrant one with like these ogres holding their hand over the fire, and I was like, that looks a little too crazy. Can't really tell what's going on. And that one that was really colorful and vibrant with the ogres did like 5% better than the other two, and I was like, all right, well, I guess that makes sense because it's very like it stands out compared to the other ones.
I mean, I feel like that's the reason why all the Mr. Beast videos, he looks like an insane person.
Yeah.
He's got like that crazy smile and like the extra white eyes and everything's so colorful. I absolutely feel like that's the reason why.
Yeah, they're doing like the uncanny valley to like stand out.
Yeah, and you're like, whoa, I gotta watch this. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the extreme version where they're just like, they're trying to mass market to like millions of people.
I do love when I get emails that are like, I keep getting emails that are like, hi, I represent some China company, and we have worked with Mr. Beast to bring him over to China. We'd love to work with you. I'm like, no, I'm all right. I don't even know if that's true, but the fact that you think that like I could be the Mr. Beast of like you too could be like Mr. Beast, like no, I don't think so.
It's actually insane because, like, I was talking about this on stream the other day, but I was like, I remember when I would upload a WoW video back in 2009, maybe 2010, and there would be, like, no competition. It would be, like, my video that I just uploaded, and then, like, a random other video uploaded by, like, actual World of Warcraft, and then, like, Oxhorn.
Yeah.
And, like, some other guy. And I'd be like, cool, I'm number one. And that was it. And now it's, like, there's like 8 billion videos uploaded every day that are just like competing with you. And I'm like, it's insane. It's like I felt like I lived in a small Wild West town that now has grown into like a metropolis.
It is interesting because you judge yourself based on not just the past, but also what you think your perceived peers are. And you forget that there's so many people who upload videos that no one watches.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much content that no one's watching. In Final Fantasy right now, I've seen maybe, when I go on YouTube, I will just type in Final Fantasy 14 and sort by new. I think I've watched everything. I watched a video that had 2 views and I was like, awesome stuff. Like, I am ingratiating myself with this community, dude. They can't get rid of me. I am showing up like good work. Or like thumbs up. Just if only to remind myself that there's so many people who like nobody watches. There's so much content.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that have zero. Yeah. And that's why when you perceive yourself to be on the same level as people who are just destroying and getting like 1 million plus views every time, you're just going to hurt yourself.
Yeah. Because you're never going to compete with that.
Yeah.
Or if you did, you'd have to already be at that level.
Exactly. There's today I was on Dropped Frames with JP, and they were talking about how on Twitch there's a new feature they're adding that is going to let chats combined, like combine chats together from different streamers, so that if everyone's streaming together, they can make one chat. And they were really concerned because it was like all these people in the chat, like it could be too crazy, too out of hand, and I was like, but if you're just starting, or if you're a streamer who has like 6 people watching, if 3 people combine their chats together and suddenly you have like 20, 30, 40 people talking, that's so much more engagement and it feels more alive. Like if you think about maybe 1% of Twitch is the people we roll with.
Yeah.
Everyone else is no one's watching. And the fact that you could get, people that have 50 in one chat and maybe 50 in another chat, suddenly you have 200 people in a chat talking, and it feels alive. I was like, that's actually kind of cool. I kind of like that. Sure, it's an issue if suddenly, Kai Cenat and like XQC are in a chat together, and then it's just, but that's so rare that honestly, if you let the people that it could really help, that's a huge benefit.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is pretty cool. I mean, even if you combined our chats, it'd still be normal because everyone's old.
But I'm saying, like, before we watch a movie, if it's all in one chat, that whole bit would be the whole bit where you just shamelessly clap for 25 minutes would be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be. It would be funny.
And I think that there's a difference between people that have 30,000 people watching and people that have, like 120 people watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is huge for them versus the people that have 1 million people watching. Who the hell cares? They're the 0.00001%. They're filthy rich. I honestly don't care what happens.
Yeah. They're already multi-millionaires.
Yeah. I don't care about them. Cool. I'm glad they get more cool things. Yeah. I'm talking about the people that are streaming because they love it. They're not necessarily making a bunch of money, but it's something they're passionate about, and this can help grow them. I was like, that sounds cool as shit. I'm all for that. But that just goes to show that we in the circle, like everyone thinks about the big time, but no one thinks about just how many people in general are trying to do the same thing we're doing, and they're just starting, or they have a smaller audience. Like I feel like we need to have like, it sounds very corny, like going to the jungle to like get in touch with the roots again kind of shit, but like I feel like we need some graciousness and realizing that a lot of people have it so good right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm always thankful I do this.
Same,
Are you
big
kidding
same.
me?
Yeah.
There's some
I'm
people
shocked
they're
it's
just-
still happening.
I know. It's almost like I've been doing it over 15 years now, which is insane.
Yeah.
So it's just like
it's jarring. I can't believe it's a thing that it happens.
yeah, like I said, I really relate to the old veteran like sports people now, where like they're like 35 playing with the kids that just got into the league, and you're just like, yeah, I've been around, I've seen, I played against your dad back in the day, like that. You just like know like all these old people. It's insane.
I've never. This is mild spoilers to House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones spinoff.
Oh yeah.
But in the last episode, Otto Hightower, he's kind of a dick. He's always been a dick, but finally, all of his basically he's planned this whole thing for so long, but then a bunch of young kids screwed it up, and the actor who played him, I've never related on an old man level as much as I have to that guy right there. When everything started crumbling around him and everyone was just like, we need to act now, old man. We need to do this stuff. Like, you're not cool. He's just like, I can't even with this shit. Like the entire time. Just every expression, every look in his face, like every time he was like, well, this guy came up with a plan. He's like, oh, did he? What's his plan? Like every bit of dialogue that man had, I felt in my soul, because I cannot stress to you the amount of times I've had conversations with people. I was like, oh, that's right. You are 21 and you think you know everything. Right. Okay. Right. And I feel like that's probably what my parents felt about me when I was younger.
Yeah.
And they were like, right, you think you're smart. Right, okay. Cool. That's how I feel. And I felt so connected to that man at that point where I was just like, oh boy, yeah. That guy'd seen the world. He waited so long. He planned everything. He tried his hardest. And then he just watched people ruin it. He was like, yeah, okay, cool. That's how I felt. I felt it in my soul. It was wild. I was like, oh boy.
To be fair, early 20s Crendor did think he knew everything.
Same with early 20s Jesse. I firmly believe that that's when you first become an adult and you think you got it figured out, because you're like, well, I can take care of myself now. I don't need nobody. And it's like, yeah, well, the reason why you can take care of yourself is because someone took care of you, you big idiot.
Yeah. It's, I think the thing that makes you the most, like, adult and mature is, like, once you start going through stuff. Like, once you start going through, like, health problems or, like, relationship things or, like so many things, which is why some people are more mature at a younger age. But usually it means they've gone through a lot and they're, like, more worn down and, like, just tired. And they're just like, this sucks.
I don't even know if it's worn down and tired, even though, like, that's the joke everyone says. Right. I feel like it's more, you've gone through enough shit that you've come out the other side and you're still here. And so you know not to panic about things, and you know to think about things a little bit more. And I feel like most people, that's the case. Like, yeah, okay, this happened to me before. All right, so this is what you should do. And then you want to give advice, and you know they're just not going to listen. Like, everyone has to go through the process themselves.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to tell someone, like, yeah, no, that happened to me. All right, so here's what I would do. They're going to be like, no, my life is different than yours, and I'm special. You're like, okay, yeah, you are. All right.
Plus, a lot of people back then, they love to give advice, but they've like they haven't gone through anything. So it's like, there's so many people that give advice when they just like, they're like the last people you'd want to ask for advice. So the moral of the story is, I don't know.
I don't even know how we got here.
I don't either. I was like, wait, okay, we were here, and then I think social media, and then
Yep.
Listen, I'm old.
It's literally been an hour. Almost an hour of us talking about this.
Listen, I'm old, but I'm also young, and I don't know.
Yeah, buddy. Sure. Sure you are, friend.
Yeah.
That's right. You're so young. You're so like a spring chicken.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. I'm not yet. The thing is, when you're in your like mid 30, even early 40s, you're at the point where you're like, you're young, But if you're like, yeah, I'm still young, everyone that's like under 30 is like, you're 30s, you're old. And then you're like, I'm old. And everyone older than 50 is like, you think you're old? Just wait. Like, I don't know. Where am I?
I will say that I am always shocked by how jarring all my former classmates look. I feel like by not having nearly as many kids as my former classmates, I somehow look better because all of them, except for like 2 or 3, which I think are still gorgeous people, most of them are crumbling. And I'm like, you are not old. You're no older than me. How? What happened? I'm like, that is a rough 40, my man. Like that. It is shocking to me. It's
they're
weird.
Also, aren't they still living in Ohio?
I mean, they also are people who I know for a fact probably drank a lot and ended up doing some sort of like, recreational drug a little too much.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I was in Ohio,
definitely a rough 40. Yeah.
If I was in Ohio, I'd be doing that too.
I mean, I very much know that in Ohio, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. But you know what's something you can do that's great?
So good, buddy. Factor, that's right. Warmer, sunnier days are calling. Fuel up with Factor. No prep, no mess meals. You can meet your wellness goals and then get out there in the sun. Have a fun day. Do anything but prep meals. They've got Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Fresh, never frozen meals, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. No matter how busy you are, no matter how much you're doing, you can always enjoy a nutritious, great tasting meal. With 35 meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you're going to find something that you'll love. It's just going to happen for you. Right now, you can get things like a chicken pot pie pasta, and you might think, Jesse, that can't be healthy for you. Oh my God. Comes with broccoli, cauliflower. It's delicious. It's one of my favorite ones they have. They've got a grilled steak filet mignon. They've got sun-dried tomato chicken. You can get a chorizo spiced ground pork and poblano, black pepper and sage pork chop with Brussels sprouts and a creamy broccoli. They got so much stuff. The side options, pancakes, bacon, scrambled eggs. You get smoky cheddar egg bites, all sorts of stuff. There's so much to get. And I can say for certain, for myself, that I love all of it. I love the meals that I order every time, and they've been great. And I cannot stress how quick it is. It's literally 2 minutes. In and out. It's great. Crush your wellness goals with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients you can trust. Make your day delicious, like I said, from breakfast to dessert to whatever in between. If you want to give it a shot and try it for yourself, head over to factormeals.com/COX50, that's COX50, and use code COX50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code COX50 at factormeals.com/COX50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. That's factormeals.com/COX50. All right, Crendor's going to chapter 7 the guy with Crendor.
Oh boy, man, it's chopping up in the sky right now. Let me tell you what, you gotta watch out. We're dodging this Cat 4 hurricane barrel. It's barreling down on the land, you might even say. It's actually way out in the water still, but you gotta take preemptive measures to dodge these things, especially when you're up in the air. So I don't know the science behind it, but trust me, we are number one in science up here in the Chopper Copter. Back to you.
That's what I hear. I hear we put all of our money into science. That's a big part of what we're doing.
It's like in Civ when you go full science.
Right. It's like social media. All of our science money is in one very specific thing. In the case of social media, it's getting you to pay attention. And in the case of this podcast, it's keeping that helicopter in the air.
By the way, there's that new the Civ 7 is going to come out. We got to play that.
Dude, I'm so excited. That trailer got me so hype. I was like, yes! Yeah. I'm ready.
That'll be great. Mm-hmm. Traffic.
All right, let's go to weather.
Weather. All right, let's see. We've landed on the weather for Kawanishi, Hyogo, Japan. Pronounced Kawanishi, Hyogo. Dude, I said it right. My friend is moving there soon. Checking on Google Maps, latest in Kawanishi, there's someone posting pictures around different historical sites with an acrylic anime girl cutout, so that's fun too.
You know what? If there's anything that was Japan, that would be it.
Yep. Let's see here. Weather. Which, by the way, Hurricane Beryl, Beryl's the name of like the first Sailor Moon villain? I remember. It was Queen Beryl.
Queen Beryl, yes.
Yeah. So I guess that's what they named the hurricane after. Sailor Moon. So here it is. Kawanishi, Hyogo, Japan. It is currently 78 degrees with rain. It is rain showers. Feeling like 80. Low of 75, 91% on the humidity. Pressure 29.7 inches. Visibility 7 miles. Winds at 6 miles an hour. Dew point 75. UV index 5 of 11. Moon phase waning crescent. 4:48 a.m. sunrise. 7:15 p.m. sunset. 10-day. Monday, 80. Showers, thunderstorms, and overcast during the afternoon with occasional rain. Heavy and torrential downpours at times. Whoa. Tuesday, 80 with rain. Wednesday, 89 with clouds. Thursday, 89 thunderstorms. Friday, 88 thunderstorms. Saturday, 85 thunderstorms. Sunday, 88 showers. And Monday, 82 thunderstorms. A lot of rain over there.
With clouds.
With clouds.
I think I might be in the wrong part of Japan. What is this place called again?
Kawanishi. Kawanishi.
But there's an extra bit.
Hyogo. Hyogo.
That's the thing.
Where were you?
Clearly not in the right place. Okay, I'm on it. I'm on the map now.
I don't know what you're doing over there.
Dude, I'm telling you, I could not see a damn thing. Also, I realized that this is, of course, in Japanese, so I don't know what anything says.
Oh, yeah.
I'm currently looking at, the only thing I can read is the golf course.
If you hover over things, it'll show, like, what it's got. It's like
yes, this place is a French restaurant. Yeah.
Yep. The post office, only a 2.8.
Even in Japan, postal service sucks, I see.
Yep. Good crop. What the heck? Good crop pastries? I feel like everywhere we go, they got a place that has pastries.
And they always look delicious.
Yes, 100%. Oh, yeah, these are...
A lot of udon places. Bakery St. Mark.
Bakery St. Mark. Yo, they got a hippo.
Oh, they got a hippo, dude. But this, location-wise, is north of Osaka.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I don't know where the hell I was. I was not north of Osaka. I was like deep in a forest. I don't know what the hell I was looking at before. I was like, are you sure this is a place?
Yeah, this is still like a place with a bunch of stuff all around. You got the Yamato Dai 6 Park. That looks like an old-ass park.
Japan fascinates me. Every time I look at Japan, I'm just always fascinated by it as the way their cities are laid out. The fact that I truly do not know any... Like, I just don't know anything.
Yeah.
Every time I look at everything, I'm like, well, what is that? How does that work? What is this? What is that thing? It is all as foreign can get for me.
I mean, they got 7-Elevens. That's not foreign.
Sure, but the 7-Elevens, I see the 7-Elevens there, and I'm impressed how incredible they are.
Yeah, true.
Like, people are like, I got all my meals at 7-Eleven when I was there. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, oh, it's delicious. Fresh and everything. And I'm like, that shouldn't exist. I mean, I'm looking at this McDonald's they have. The McDonald's has a row of bike racks outside, and all the bike racks are filled with bikes.
Yeah. Well, everybody's riding their bike and walking everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's just A different world. They literally sell French macarons at this place.
At McDonald's?
Yes.
What the heck?
It's a different world. This McDonald's straight up has a case of cakes and pies.
Oh my god, yeah, I see that. That's crazy.
I'm telling you, Japan is like a different planet. I'm so intimidated by it. I want to go visit Japan, and I'm just like, I would have to have a translator and like a tour guide. And I genuinely am overwhelmed by the concept.
There's a lot. Even the packaging, they got like crazy. It's like a cowboy and then like a polar bear. Like I don't know how it's that contrasting in terms of their wrapping. It's like a piece of Canadian bacon on this one. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm looking at Domino's right now. I just am going to places that I know are American, so I kind of know the baseline.
Yeah.
This Domino's pizza, if you can find the Domino's, the first image looks like it's a pizza with apple on it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, all this could be very good because the one time I was in Belgium and we got Domino's pizza because it was like a goof. We got tuna fish Domino's pizza, and it was delicious. It was one of the best pizzas I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh, wow.
And I loved it. I was like, this, and it wasn't like, good tuna. It was straight up probably just canned tuna.
Mm-hmm.
But something about the way that it crisped up. Like, it got like, it was both tuna and crispy because it was on top of the pizza when they cooked it. Something about it, it was delicious. I loved it.
Hold on. Can you click that link?
I can.
I don't know what this place is, but it's got Mario going down a flagpole.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's food. And then there's like a dining room. And then there's like, I don't know what this
house,
place
like
is.
a person's home.
Yeah, that's like a house. And I genuinely don't know what this place is. Like a restaurant? Why is Mario there?
This is a great question. I have no idea. And it would make, if we could read maybe I can translate it.
Yeah, see, because it's...
English.
And they show a guy just like picking up recycled materials.
So the location you sent me is called Sprouts.
Okay.
And perhaps that is, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like a market? Because I know in LA there's a literal place called Sprouts that is a market.
Oh, maybe then?
Maybe this is like a restaurant, but it also just straight up looks like a house sometimes. But then in other shots, it looks like a shopping mall.
Yeah. This is such a weird place.
In some shots, it looks like a place where people are having tea and pastries. In other shots, they're eating katsu curry. Like,
yeah,
I cannot describe what's happening here.
And then it just shows this old man who picks up like bottles. Like,
yeah, in one shot, it looks like a mall where it's like, thank you, happy Mother's Day. And then another shot, it's like the back porch of someone's home. I don't know I don't know what you've uncovered here.
And then Mario's there.
And then a Mario on a pole shows up.
I don't know. And then I dropped in like Street View. And I still don't know. It just looks like a building.
Street View does, in fact, look like a bunch of just houses, like an alleyway.
Yeah. This is crazy. I have no idea.
Let me just stress once again. This is making me very confident in my belief that I would need someone to help me out. Because I would be so lost. It'd be like a big white goober walking around their city like, hey, anyone know where I am?
I'm here to see Mario and have tea. Anyone know where that is?
They'd politely walk away. They do that thing where they were just like,
oh, yeah.
Let's not answer the giant man. Let's go away.
Where's Mario? Where is
I'm looking for Mario. Hey, lady, you know where Mario is?
Somebody answer me.
Please stop turning around and walking the other way. I just want to find Mario.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody figure it out if you can find it. But that's the weather.
All right, let's go to sports.
Sports. Sports. So we've got The Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup. We also got the NBA free agency has started up. So that's pretty cool. A lot of free agents starting to sign with teams. We got baseball still. It's about at the halfway point, actually, which is kind of crazy. You got the Orioles and the Yankees battling it out over in the AL East. You got the Guardians in the Central. You got the Mariners in the West. And the National, you got the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Dodgers. Then, we're getting close to the Olympics. The Olympics start date is July 26th. So we're only, what is that? Like 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks away?
I just want to say for the record, I saw a video that was like everything bad about the Olympics, and it really was a bummer. Because I love the Olympics, and I don't like when people are like, actually, they're terrible. Every city they go to, they ruin the economy for decades to come. And I'm like, man, I like the idea of them people sporting pretty good, and I thought it would be fun to watch. And I'm like, now I'm bummed out by the Olympics.
Yeah, but it's like you can find the bad in everything. You know, it's like...
Yeah, I'm aware. It's just, I hate that that's where, like... There's going to be always someone with like, here's my 16-part expose on why the Olympics are the terrible thing that you should not love. And I'm like,
how else am I going to put it on at night?
Yeah, how else am I going to have my white noise when I go to bed?
Yeah.
I've been so lacking in white noise, I literally put on you streaming. That's not even a joke. I've at least twice this past week, I put you on in the background.
Damn.
That's where I'm at.
Desperate times.
That's what I'm saying. It's desperate up in here.
Yeah. Oh boy. That's sports. I was like, where am I?
All right. What is our fact of the day?
Fact of the day. You inhale. Yes, that's right. You inhale 50 potentially harmful bacteria every time you breathe. However, thankfully, our immune system is working hard all the time, so virtually all these are promptly destroyed without you feeling a thing.
Thanks, little white blood cells. You're doing it. I love you. I love you. I don't thank you enough.
That's true. I think, it's, you got like mold spores. There's like a bunch of shit.
Sure,
they're just
that
like,
sounds
get
right.
out of here.
That sounds correct.
It is. I remember Dr. John said it. He said that you're breathing a bunch of mold spores and stuff.
I don't like that. I don't like the thought of that. I don't like that.
I mean, it's true. How often do we breathe in mold? People are exposed to molds every day, usually by touching or breathing them in, because they naturally exist outdoors and indoors. So living a totally mold-free environment is practically impossible. See, I told you.
Yeah, all right. I don't have to like it, but all right.
In fact, this says we inhale between 1,000 and 10 billion mold spores daily. That's a lot of mold.
It is a lot of mold. I must stress that the more you say stuff like this, the more I'm going to end up like one of those dudes covered in like hand sanitizer, like, I'll never be clean. I have to shave off all my hair.
He's got the bubble.
Yeah. I must be clean. I just cover myself. I cover myself in sanitizer. Like a little slug man. Like, just always got ooze dripping out behind me. Like, I'm covered in sanitizer.
Sanitation ooze is leaking out. Anytime like one mold spore gets in there, your bubbles like.
I cover myself.
It's got an alarm.
No one look at me.
Just like sprays you down. Like,
I must be clean. I must be pure.
This summer, the mold man.
I don't like it.
That's your fact of the day.
All right. What is our big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. Abraham Lincoln wax statue's head melts off.
I think I saw it because it was so hot.
Yeah. That guy's hot. Honest Abe was no match for a DC heat wave. A 6-foot-tall wax replica of the 16th president created by artist Sandy Williams IV, was installed in February on the Northwest Washington in Northwest Washington? What? Whatever. Although Williams told New York Magazine that the public art piece was always meant to melt, it was installed under shady trees so it could survive the summer. But thanks to the temperature topping 100 degrees over the weekend, Lincoln's head got a little too gooey for comfort, so it was removed and stored for safekeeping with plans to reattach it on Tuesday.
I don't like that. The irony is too much. That Lincoln's head is the thing that... No, I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like it.
I don't like that either.
It's also weird that it was intended to melt. Like, we always knew it would melt. Like, that's a weird thing to... I would feel weird if someone was like, Jesse, we made a wax sculpture of you. Its intent is to melt. I'd be like, what is the message here?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's... So what's going to happen? It just melts in the big puddle, and it's like, yep, that's where he used to be.
Yeah,
now he's
that's
gone.
it. Okay.
All right. Like, there's got to be, in the year 2024, there's got to be, like, some super wax or something that can resist, like, higher temperatures.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's like, oh, this wax doesn't melt until it's, like, 200 degrees. Like, I don't know. This is the second Lincoln candle Williams has crafted. The first one had 100 wicks, which were meant to be lit, just not all at once, Williams told New York Magazine. Is installed at the same location in September 2023, but was melted by some wily local residents before its unveiling. Of course it was. How did they not even, like, have...
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's just bad foresight. Of course, that's like those people that sent a robot around the U.S., and then just a bunch of people beat the shit out of the robot. Like,
yeah.
Do you not know what's going... Like, yeah, this is the United States of America. If there's some shit to break, we'll break it just to do it.
Please don't hurt me.
How did you get for coming into this town, robot?
Yeah, you're not even real.
Your emotions are fake. You used to manipulate us. Don't worry. We'll make sure you never have those again. Get out of here, robot.
Yeah, just like Wax Lincoln.
We took care of him real good. They said don't light all those wicks at once, but we did every single one.
How did nobody even see that happening? It's like they lit the Lincoln wax thing up. It's like just a giant flame going into the air.
Especially if they were like, before we revealed it to the public, you didn't have security on that thing. You just put it out there. We're like, tomorrow morning, we're going to blow everyone's mind. And they get there like, oh, man.
Yeah, or like, a fence. I feel like a fence wouldn't be that expensive. Just like aged-in fence, like they put dumpsters in.
Turns out people still gunning for Lincoln. After all these years, like, a new Lincoln would taking him out. Like, damn, okay.
People found the sculpture without any sort of prompt, Williams told New York Magazine. They just noticed it had wicks, then lit all the wicks and left it melting for days. For days!
I'm just blown away that like they no plans were made. They just put it out there and then we're like, oh, they ruined it. Like, you didn't think that would happen? The first thing I would think of if you put something in the public is who's going to ruin this and in what way?
Oh, yeah. And especially if it's got, like, wicks that you can light, somebody's going to be like, I got to light that.
Yeah.
100%.
I've lived in big cities enough to know if you have a wall, someone's going to spray paint that wall. Same thing with everything. You're like, it's just what's going to happen.
Yeah. So when we came back, it was already melted and headless. Even before Wax Lincoln number 2's head melted off, the statue began to droop backwards, making it appear like the former president was exhausted and slouching back in his seat.
I've had a rough couple of years.
Then it just shows a bunch of people tweeting about it and the pictures of it. Williams said that the piece was initially intended to draw attention to the Civil War era and its aftermath. For this work, we chose Garrison Elementary School because it sits on top of Camp Barker, which was a Civil War era freedmen's community that we often don't learn about. I think we learned this history that Lincoln freed the slaves, but we aren't taught what happened to the early freed communities, the injustices of that period of Reconstruction, and the concept of reparations. But the artist was also open to wherever people take their interpretations of the piece because that is what public art is all about. Quote, my methodology around the work is that I put love into making these projects and present them as sort of a gift to the community. I'm hands off on the authorship of its form or reading. I thought one comment was like, this is me after I get home from work. This is me in my Zoom meeting. And I think it's funny the way an image can be so viral and have so many different meme interpretations.
Conceptually, sure. I understand where you're coming from. But in reality, you just made a wax Lincoln that people are just going to, like, ruin.
Yeah. It's like I'm just trying to, really talk about history here or whatever, and people are like, this is me when I have a beer and I gotta relax. Which
This is me after a long day of work. Look at that guy. He's just like me, for real, for real.
Which really just kind of encapsulates the human experience and the human mind.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's the big news story of the day.
All right. Well, that is it for us. Thanks so much for listening or watching or ever enjoy this podcast. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
Socials, youtube.com/Cox and Crendor podcast. Go leave your weather requests there. Tell us about that place we can't figure out if you can find it. Also, subscribe, hit the bell, like the video, share it with your other friends that want to listen to this podcast for whatever reason, even though I don't know who would. Also, we got animations, youtube.com/Cox and Crendor. Also, we're on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, and the others. Also, you can find us on our main things, YouTube Jesse Cox, YouTube Crendor, Twitch Jesse Cox, Twitch Crendor, Facebook Jesse Cox, Facebook Crendor, Twitter Jesse Cox, Twitter Crendor, Instagram Notorious Cox, Instagram Crendor was taken, TikTok Jesse Cox, TikTok Crendor.
TikTok.
Warhammer Crendor on YouTube, and Cox Clips, Cren Clips on YouTube, and that's it.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time, and as always,
Woo!
to be continued.